Record to the cloud. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your MoxiWorks Hours Essentials. Today's session is specifically on MoxiEngage, creating, customizing, managing campaigns within MoxiEngage. For clarification, the reason why I say MoxiEngage twice in this case is because there are campaigns also in MoxiImpress. So not to be confused, because there are also campaigns there. Just want to make sure that everybody understands we are focusing on MoxiEngage today. Here is our team. My name is Alex Castro. I'll be your host today. And Angie, are you on the line? Or Brett, are you guys on the line? Amy?
I'm on the line.
All right. Well, Angie is there. She's part of our team, our engagement team. She's going to be fielding any questions that you have in chat. So feel free to type in questions that you have on any topic, really. Hopefully, the focus is going to be on the content today, right? We don't want to distract people paying attention too much in chat, but of course, right? Ask your questions there. Be mindful that this session is being recorded, right? So chat messages are part of that recording, right? It's part of the transcript of the recording. The recording link should be emailed to you all, whoever registers for these sessions. You guys are participants by Zoom definition, but everybody who registers gets a copy of the recording link, as well as any documentation that we share, as well as the PDF version of the slides. And today's slides it's going to be a ton of stuff. Brett, I'm not sure if you're on the call. If you can, just kind of chime in. But this is our engagement team, and feel free to unmute yourself at the end of the call, where we're going to reserve 5-10 minutes at the end so that you can ask your questions live. Really quick, some of you who are first timers just want to make sure, kind of set the stage, so to speak, of what you can expect today. Our MoxiWorks Hours FAQs. Okay, so the content is targeted to all agents, but we also recommend your product champions, your leadership team, your admins, coaches, marketing personnel, recruiters, everybody in your office to attend, right? Because there's certain nuggets that could hopefully be ways to either recruit new agents or retain current agents. Okay, so what is this MoxiWorks Hours? Micro learning to develop your MoxiWorks skills. Bottom line, right? You want to learn the how-tos of most of the product functions. As you can imagine, this is only an hour, and we can only pack so much into an hour. Okay, we are going to share best practices with you today. So basically, what other people are doing, what we have found to be kind of what maybe is a good approach for you. Not saying that this is the only way, but a suggestion for those of you who are searching for ways to do things, answers to your questions, of course. Again, use the chat to ask questions while we go along. Write them down if you want to reserve your questions for the end, where you can basically have open mic and ask them live. What the session is not, right? We're not designed here to provide technical support. Some of you, hopefully, right, if you have an issue, let's say, as we discussed earlier before a lot of you joined the call, the birthday campaign was launching immediately after the agent set up the birthday campaign, okay? Something that hopefully your product champion can answer. But for any issues, you want to go to our support.moxieworks.com, submit a ticket. That is the best way to get your issue resolved. Chances are other people are reporting it, and be aware that for all of you on the call, right, MoxiWorks is ramping up big time their support personnel. So we know that Realogy is creating a huge influx of support tickets, right? And they are reacting to that, right? And actually trying to get ahead of the curve to reduce the turnaround time. So just kind of understand that that is happening. This is not intended to be an all-inclusive training session. As most of you know, these MoxiWorks products have a ton of bells and whistles, yes? With that, we can't cover everything, right? And everybody on this call they have different levels of expertise, different levels of understanding or experience with the platform. So hopefully we knock as many questions and as many concerns or kind of educate you as much as possible on this call. Zoom registration link. If you have the Zoom registration link, you should have been able to register for all sessions that are upcoming, not just the one, but many. Okay, just kind of another recap for those of you who are first timers, bi-weekly. So every other Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, same time, same channel, so to speak, Zoom link. Why do we have these MoxiWorks hours, right? To maximize your knowledge of the features and benefits, of course, of the entire suite of the MoxiWorks platform. That's specifically Moxie Present, Moxie Impress, MoxiEngage, Moxie Website, right? All the agent-facing products, right? The entire suite of the MoxiWorks platform so that you can become more efficient and help you achieve your goals, right? And bottom line, to sell more, right? If that is your goal, hopefully. How, slides, live demo, prerequisites. So we don't intend this session to be your first exposure to MoxiWorks, because that's not fair to everybody else who have been on those product launch training, right? If you missed that product launch when your company actually launched with the products, get that training link, or links, I should say, from your product champion. Hopefully you know who your product champion is at your office. Everybody should have at least one, if not more, product champions who are, right, your go-to person with respect to MoxiWorks at your office. Also, your brand university, each one of you, you have e-learning sessions on your brand university. All you have to do is search for Moxie, and those things should pop up and you can go through those e-learning, right? So we don't want to start from scratch, so to speak, with these sessions. So we want to make sure everybody has a certain level of understanding. Okay, so what are we focusing on today? Today is on MoxiEngage, okay? The CRM specifically built for real estate agents and specifically campaigns. Okay, so here's our agenda. We talked about the FAQs. We're going to talk quickly about best practices. Actually, not too quickly, because this is huge and very important to all of you on this call. We're going to go certainly into the campaigns, creating, customizing, managing campaigns within MoxiEngage, talk about support, survey, and your questions and answers, of course. Okay, again, feel free to use that chat, type in questions.
All right, I'm myself.
All right, who's that? We just want to make sure that you all are muted. If we can mute everybody.
No, not really.
And then I think, Angie, are you able to mute?
I'm doing
I'll take a moment to mute.
I cannot.
You cannot. Okay, so I hopefully got that taken care of. Sorry, folks. Best practices. Question for all of you. What's the difference between your sphere of influence, or some of you call it SOI, and broker company leads? Think about it. When you think about MoxiEngage, MoxiWorks Suite, it is tailor-made for sphere of influence, right? The people that you've that are basically on your iPhone or your Android, right? All those people that you synchronized with MoxiEngage. Those are your contacts, your relatives, your friends, past customers, referral sources, yes? But what about those broker company leads? Some of you are at your office because I'm going to get broker leads, company leads from the person who asked me to join their company. Yes? So that is a big part of your MoxiWorks engagement. So here is some important information. Save this number with a special ringtone on your mobile phone for broker company lead offers. Does that make sense? If you want those broker company leads, you want to program this number on your phone, 903-294-4442. Hopefully you have it already. When you accept a broker company lead, that information, that confirmation details will come from this email address. So probably a good idea to maybe put this on a safe sender list so that you actually get the details and it's not ending up in spam or junk. I'm not sure if anybody's reported that, but just in case. Why is this important? Because you may get a lead a call and you may not accept it because you're like, oh, that must be some, what do you call it? Unwanted robot call. Well, actually, it is a robot call, but this is a wanted one. Yes. Okay.
It's
So make
called
sure.
telemarketers.
Yes, telemarketers, but this one is a company lead that is coming from your company. Do you want this lead? And what's going to happen? You're going to get this offer phone call. This is the dialogue that you can expect, right? You have a new lead that has been offered to you. To confirm this is not a voice mailbox, press 1. Does that make sense? So that phone number, this 903 number, is going to call you and ask you this information. Should you answer it? Make sense? So if you want leads, and I think all of us could use leads, you want to make sure that phone number is programmed into your phone so that you can get this phone call like this. Text messages, right? Text yes to accept within X number of minutes. Okay, these are the messages that that phone number is going to be texting you. Okay, lead reject, no response. This lead has been rejected and will be offered to the next available agent. Okay, so these messages, the timing of these messages are all dictated by your leadership team. This all happens in the background. Does that make sense? Your time to claim this lead has expired. We don't want that just because we heard the phone is sitting on the counter and we didn't have a special ringtone on it, so we just kind of ignored it and oh God, it expired. I missed out on the lead.
What is the name of this lead site? Is it leads?
Leads Engine is the platform.
Okay.
Not really important to know from an agent's perspective, but those of you who are product champions, who are broker owners, who are producing agents on this call, right? Right, if you're broker owner management and also producing agents, right? You know this. But for agent, that's your sole job. You don't really need to know that it's Leads Engine. That's another component that's feeding this information, okay, to you. So here's text messages, what they look like. The email confirmation. Hello, your name. You have a new lead because you accepted it on your phone, yes? And if you didn't accept it, you rejected because you didn't answer. You rejected it because it expired. You're not going to get this email. Look at this, and highlighted in yellow, if everybody can pay attention to this. You must contact and report back on this lead, which can be done by entering your lead engagement details in your CRM. What's your CRM? MoxiEngage. How often do you must communicate? Look, first engagement, second engagement, third engagement, fourth engagement. Don't worry about these times. Your office may vary. Most likely it will. Each office is separate. So don't think that you got 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, I only got 5 minutes. Some offices might be only 1 minute or 3 minutes. Does that make sense? The reason for this is speed to lead, right? Because if you don't respond in a timely fashion, right, that lead is going to go elsewhere. And to answer Mitz's question, right, we're not getting the contact information. And because Susan mentioned also, maybe because that information was entered right a first time, which contained all the details, and the agent's actually getting that secondary notification that does not include the address, right? The listing number, the MLS listing number. Does that make sense? Hopefully everybody understands what they're looking at, right? Any questions regarding this? I think it's worthwhile to cover this because this can impact your bottom dollar, right? Your production. If you miss a lead, like, oh God, I missed that phone call. Believe me, when I was doing training, right? When I used to visit all the offices, right? Pre-COVID, the agent goes, I'm having them program that number on their phones. Agent says, oh my gosh, Alex, I just missed a call yesterday, because they programmed the actual number with a name on it. And it shows up on their phone red as a missed call, right? Red color, I think it was, yeah? And she goes, oh my gosh, I missed the lead yesterday. I go, see? That is lead in that instance, right? That is lead router. Now the new generation is leads engine, is asking you, do you want this lead? And if you don't answer, guess what? Next agent. We'll ask the next agent. Any questions? This is huge, folks. This is best practices, right? So put that number. What's that number? Oh, wait, there's more. What does it look like now in MoxiEngage? Well, how do I know, Alex, when I got a lead? Okay, some of you in Zap, right? There's a notification bell and it's real obvious that something is right. I got a broker lead. MoxiEngage, a little bit different, right? It's going to appear here, new. You see, everybody see the red arrow, hopefully, at the bottom of your screen, new. Added 3 minutes ago. Oh, yes, I'm on it because I'm on my MoxiEngage dashboard. I just accepted the lead from my company, my lead from my broker, and I am on it. I'm going to contact this person because I got all the contact details automatically entered, along with all my sphere of influence people that are already in my MoxiEngage CRM, but this is a broker lead, right? And what happens next? Look, action needed on your people screen. You need to do something with this person. That's how it's going to be notated, your broker leads. Any questions? And let me pause there. Angie, any questions from the audience in chat that we can kind of highlight and bring about for everybody to hear?
Yeah, so there's 2 questions. Will the lead populate into Engage automatically, and how are the leads distributed throughout the company?
Great question. The leads are going to populate your MoxiEngage automatically, which is the whole beauty about this whole thing, right? Where you have your dashboard, so to speak. Yeah, your MoxiEngage dashboard. There's a lead in internet land of a broker or an agent, or excuse me, a buyer or seller looking for real estate. And they land and they so happen to go into your company's leads engine platform. Who does that go to? That depends on your broker. That depends on your leads administrator at your office. That depends on a number of factors. It could be like this buyer, prospective buyer, only speaks Spanish. It could be that specific. And it'll go to your Spanish-speaking agents. It could be where, oh, yeah, you listed a property, and that lead may go straight direct to you, the agent, right? Because that's your listing. They called on it. They inquired about it online. That's your listing. It goes straight to you. So there's any number of rules, you name it, based on price point, zip codes, anything like that can be used as rules to direct these leads to your to the specific agent, right? So that more from that, you could ask your manager, your broker owner, your product champion as to how they're distributing the leads. Yes, but that's a discussion with them. I just want to make sure that everybody understands kind of conceptually how it all works. Yeah. But I just wanted to highlight that when you get a new lead from your broker,
I have a question.
Yes, Cherry.
Sorry to interrupt. I have a question. Does it differentiate the lead type when it's automatically input in the system? You know, like from Sphere to like it shows that it was a lead engine lead?
Oh yeah. That let me get back to you, everybody, on that.
Okay.
One. I'm
Okay.
not specific on that one. I just want to
Okay.
confirm right before I give everyone
Okay,
information out.
thank you.
But that's a great question. So let me
It
write that.
does, Alex, it
Oh, it
does.
does. Okay. What is the
Yeah.
Oh,
location?
awesome. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Do we know what it's tagged or what does it say, Brett?
I haven't seen exactly what the tag looks like, but there's
Okay,
a
so-
number of different lead sources that are noted when they come in, and it should be one of those.
Lead source types. Okay, we'll
Awesome.
get back to you, but that's a great question. Thank you, Brett.
Okay, thank
confirm
you.
to confirm. Okay, so basically remember everybody to when you're looking at your dashboard, and this is a great case for why you want to look and log into your MoxiEngage platform on a daily basis, right? Because hey, I accepted that lead and then I don't do anything about it, right? But if you go in, you see this new and I got some action items needed, boom, we're on top of it. Okay, so remember that phone number, that email address of where these leads are going to be coming from. Yes, make sure you note that because we don't want anybody on this call to miss any leads. Yes. Okay, next question. There's 3 best practices I'm going to share with you folks today, in addition to the campaigns. How many of your people, right, your sphere of influence or leads from your broker or company in MoxiEngage have received their daily email with your photo, your name, your branding, with the listing alert, or some people call it saved search, with properties meeting their search criteria? How many of you, how many of your customers received this email today? How many of you? That's a rhetorical question. I don't expect you to really answer it, but you should probably be thinking, oh my God, I don't have anybody on saved searches.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you get the picture in there and your information?
All that should be coming from your back office system. It should automatically be populating into your MoxiEngage platform.
Thank you.
Yep. And you can also configure that in your profile screen in your MoxiEngage profile. Okay, but back to what we're talking about. And if you have just quick questions, right, to kind of make sure that we get through all the content today, please put that in chat. We'll be sure to get back to you, or Angie will, or Brett will be able to answer your questions accordingly, because we got tons more of information to cover. And keep in mind, everybody, as I mentioned, this session is being recorded. Yes. So I'm throwing a lot of information at you. It's going to be overwhelming for a lot of you. You can always refer to that recording and kind of slow me down, so to speak, right? You can reverse, forward wind, reverse, right? Because I just want to make sure you're getting most bang for your buck in this hour that you spend with us. Yes. So hopefully that's okay with everybody. All right. So here, right? This one, no new listings. It's okay. There's no new listings for whatever search this was in La Jolla, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, La Jolla, California. No listings, but guess what? Your customer got an email and I forgot who mentioned it. How do I get my photo and my name and contact information in this email? That's automatically sent to your customers on a daily basis, even when there's no new listings that meet that saved search criteria. Does that make sense? The reason why I point this out, obviously, is that you want to maintain top of mind with everyone in your MoxiEngage CRM. Does that make sense? Why? Because you don't do anything for this. Caitlin, the agent, right? This is our test account. What work did she do other than set this up one time? Okay. When there are listings, check it out. Your buyers or sellers and say, oh, wow, look at this. Cool. I get this listing from my agent, and it could be daily and it could be hourly, right? You can set the frequency of when these listings are sent and triggered via email to your customer. That's all through MoxiEngage. So why am I bringing this up? Because this, hopefully you all are using and taking advantage of this very simple, right? You could do this through your MLS, but you will miss all the features and all the benefits of having it integrated with your CRM called MoxiEngage. Any questions, right? when you first set up a customer with a saved search, right? You do this for them, or they could do this themselves. It says, look, I've created a saved search for you in Carlsbad. Take a look around and feel free to make any changes. Does that make sense? Beautiful. 21 listings because I just set it up for them, right? It's going to take all the actives and send it to my prospect. You're not going to see a 0 typically, right? Or you're not going to see like maybe 3. It's going to take them all what are available right now when you set that up. Any questions?
There are some questions in the chat, Alex.
Yeah.
So a few agents have asked if they can change to add specific towns instead of drawing a perimeter, or if they're able to shut off contingent homes. So that
I do know part of that answer. Maybe Brett, you can chime in, but you can't
Sure, yeah.
specify towns, right? You
Well,
can't specify multiple.
You can do searches. You can do lots of different safe searches. You can do it by a radius. You can do it by a zip code or area when you start to type in the search bar. You also do have filters. So if you don't want to show contingent properties or, those types of properties, you can opt to show or not show those. You can also even have, for example, you can put in a filter that says, I only want to see listings that have been active for less than 30 days or less than 60 days, right? So there is quite a bit of filtering that you can do pending. You'll see that. So if you go to pretty much any Moxie website, the search options that you have as a user of Moxie on a MoxieWorks website pretty much maps what your options are. And Jill, the workaround for yours is that you can use radius search or you can use a draw search at this point. And that way you can have different towns. Now for the quick sign up options, not so much, but yes. And you can do multiple searches as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Brett. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, but as Brett mentioned, tons of filtering options at your fingertips. For more information on safe searches, you'll get this hyperlink in the PDF file and also that follow-up email. All right, third and final best practices before we actually get into campaigns, right? The neighborhood news sign up widget. How many of you are leveraging this powerful tool? It's simple, but it packs a powerful punch. Some agents are using this as their sign up or intake form, so to speak, at their open houses. Yeah, in lieu of that yellow pad piece of paper with the guest registry, name, phone number, email address, they pop up the laptop or the tablet or even on your phone, right? Mr. and Mrs. Customer, would you like to sign in? The seller has requested that everybody sign in. Everybody that visited the property sign in. Is that okay? Name, phone number, email, and actually no phone number, and zip code of which they are thinking of buying perhaps. When you click on that sign up now button, guess where that goes? Right into MoxiEngage. Right, and now they are in a drip campaign with your branding, neighborhood news on a monthly basis, and they get some great stuff, and we covered that in a previous MoxiWorks hours, but I just wanted to highlight this again because this is huge information that a lot of agents aren't yet using, right? Neighborhood news. A lot of people, they go, yeah, we get we have our website, we have MoxiEngage, but this, to some, it's a hidden gem, but it should be a huge golden nugget for lots of you because it's so easy, so powerful in what you get, right? So customers get all these nice charts and new listings and stuff like that automatically with your branding. Okay, neighborhood news, look it up on your support.moxieworks.com if you need more information. All right, so without further ado, MoxiEngage, creating, customizing, managing campaigns. There's a lot of kind of precursor information and then I'll go live. Okay, so I have to read some of this because the information is very important. Okay, so MoxiEngage campaigns overview. Okay, allow you to connect with your sphere and of course, your new leads that you get from the company via a collection of automated emails. All right. You could send them on a specific date. Yes. Birth date, house anniversary. You could send them sequentially. Yes. As we talked, I think 10 minutes before the hour, right? Where day 0 is today. And then everything moves from there, right? Sequentially. Day 0 would be today. Single email blasts. That is kind of like a one-shot deal. I'm just going to say blast, right? Right? I'm not sure what, right? Be sure you see the Top Gun premiere that's coming out, right? May, whatever, right? Non-real estate related, but certainly it's going to grab some people's attention in your sphere. Okay. Campaigns can be managed from your home page, right? You can also see it, this last paragraph, if you will. You can also see open rate, unsubscribes, total people subscribe to each campaign, which campaigns are still needing to be set up and running. And we'll cover that in more detail. One thing that everybody should understand is this. Brokerages, regions, or offices can keep your campaigns up to date with fresh emails and new content. What does that mean? Your brand, your office, your company can create campaigns of which you can use and leverage. I would highly advise to leverage those templates. Duplicate those, okay? That's a key word, duplicate, because you can find something that kind of looks like what you want to do and duplicate it so that you don't alter the original campaign. Next thing, and forgive me, I just want to make sure that everybody understands these key details, right? It's all available on support.moxieworks.com, but I like to highlight it because a lot of people won't take the time to read. I will read it to you. Campaigns will remain synced to the original content as long as you do not change the date or add or remove an email. Does that make sense? Once you change the date, once you add or remove an email, this should say remove an email, not end email. An email from the campaign, guess what? It's broken. That that campaign is broken, so to speak. Okay, it's not connected. So to confirm if your campaign is still connected, you can see the synced icon next to the campaign and campaign name and word synced underneath the campaign name. Does that make sense? Synced campaigns. That means if you change something about that campaign, the date, the order, add or remove an email, guess what? It's not connected. It's not synchronized. Okay, synced emails. Similar to campaigns, your emails will remain synced to the original content as long as there are no edits to the email. The reason why I bring up and highlight these things, right, is because these are kind of the things that will get you, right? They'll like, oh God, frustrate you. So I want to make sure that you all understand it via this MoxiWorks Hours. To confirm if your email is still connected, you can see the synced icon next to the email name, all right? All right. So again, just one reiterate, and then I'm going to go into live demo, okay? So here, any changes to the campaign, such as scheduling, right? The order, adding or removing emails, will sever that connection or sync to that original campaign. What is it going to look like? This message is going to appear. Editing campaign schedule will break sync. It's going to ask you, right? Swapping emails, adding emails, changing dates will break sync this campaign. New emails created by your office or brokerage will not be added. Are you sure? Basically, it's saying. This is kind of a warning. So I just want to make sure you all understand this concept. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to go live into my system. And hopefully everybody can still see. I'm going to share. And I got all these other screens that are popping up right here. Can everybody see my MoxiEngage campaign setup?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go first into my people. Does everybody see where I'm at? my people. And hopefully it takes me there. And maybe not. Let me just go ahead and reset here. Okay, here we go. Does everybody still see my browser?
Yeah, we can see it. It's thinking. There we go. Now it popped up.
Okay. Oh, actually, that's the wrong one. Okay, so let's see, MoxiEngage. Hopefully this time it works. Sorry, folks. Challenges when you go live sometimes. Oh, okay, here we go. So manager dashboard, because I am an agent today, I'm going to agent mode. Okay, so here I'm going to go to people and I'm going to go to my people just to kind of share with you what's kind of going on in my demo system. So here we go. It's a small database, yeah? I have Alex demo. I have Alex Gmail demo. I have Alex for today's date, Castro, yeah? So 3 people. And then I can say, what I want to do is I want to put these people on a email campaign. Edit groups, click. Let me see. I want to create a new group and we're going to call this MoxiWorks Hours 512 test group. Yeah, create. Why am I creating this group? Because what I want to do is I want to add people to this group. I want to send a campaign to a specific group. Does that make sense? Okay, so here is the All Alex test group that I created before. And I just want to make sure that when you go into your people, my people, say overview. Okay, so you can see that certain people are going to be part of that campaign. Okay, so let me go here to campaigns. Is everybody with me? Campaigns. Across the top, you have my campaigns, email blast, neighborhood news, which we just spoke about, listing announcements, which is another flag, if you will, another feature that whenever you have a listing, they're automatically going to be sent a communication from you automatically. And we have my emails. Okay, we'll talk about my postcards later. That's something that maybe we'll discuss in a future MoxiWorks hours. But this screen, little bit intimidating at first. You want to go across the top. Okay, so here's all the different campaign types. So if I go to my campaigns, I could see all of my campaigns, things that are waiting to be set up, things that are actually running, things that I just kind of put on pause, and things that I archived. If I go to e-blasts, click, right? It changes that screen. As you can see, I'm not having anything to set up on e-blasts. Neighborhood news, click, right? Oh, I got 4 people on neighborhood news. It's giving me the open rate, the click rate, unsubscribing rate. Very cool, right? This is what we want to make sure we leverage, as I mentioned earlier, all the benefits that you get from neighborhood news. Listing announcements, right? This is when when they're subscribed, right? For listing announcements. It's much like neighborhood news. You can also set up listing announcements for virtually everybody in your MoxiEngage CRM. And you can see when somebody unsubscribes. When you see this unsubscribe, just kind of best practice, maybe it's a good time to actually call or communicate with this particular person, Olivia, right? Mr. and Mrs. Smith or Mr. and Mrs. Spikes, notice that you unsubscribed. Is there a reason, right? Because we met at the open house and right, you get the idea. So it's a perfect time to follow up as to what's going on, right? It's an excuse to contact that particular customer. And then my emails, right? You can see that I have a number of emails that I have created, or my brand has created the source, or my company has created, right? Brokerage. Does that make sense? So these campaigns are always being updated by your brand specifically, right? Because they are trying to fill your library with lots and lots of content. Does that make sense? So don't feel like, oh gosh, there's nothing here. There are continually things being added on in terms of your emails and campaigns. So let's go to my campaigns. So hopefully this kind of gives you a 35,000 foot view. We're going to go down a little bit lower to 25,000 feet now. Yeah. So my campaigns. Oh, here we go. My campaigns. Okay. So you can see I have 5 campaigns. Is everybody with me? And before I continue, any questions, Angie, that we need to address
Yeah,
right now?
so-
I don't want to get too far ahead of the group, so to speak. I want everybody to
Yeah.
chat with us.
This one's pretty simple. Just what is the difference between an e-blast and an email?
Well,
Are they the same,
go ahead.
or are they the same thing?
Well, e-blast is usually kind of a one and done thing, right? Like blast bulk to a bunch of people, right? So Premiere, Top Gun Premiere, right? Just wanted to share with my sphere of influence. And by the way, right, signed with your name and phone number on the e-blast, right? Your name, phone number, photo, right? E-blast, right? One and done, bulk. Emails, something more like that you're going to utilize over and over again. Make sense? And maybe Brett, if you wanted to chime in on maybe your experience on e-blast versus emails.
So there's a question that just came up real quickly that was, let's see here. Can emails be sent? Yes, anytime you can pull up a contact in your people section and send an email from there. I think you pretty much nailed what the differences are between emails and an email blast. Blast would be something maybe like an invite to a client appreciation event, something like that, whereas it doesn't necessarily belong in an actual campaign. It's kind of a campaign of its own where you just send out one. Yeah, something like a monthly newsletter, that would probably be more of a campaign. But then you would want to create that sort of thing. So on Steven's question, can we create our own custom email? It's a little weird how it works, but you have to create the email first before you create the campaigns full of emails. And right now, the way you do that is you basically add from library, and then go ahead and hit and click on add from library. And then you're basically going to take a blank one, any of these, and click on add to emails. So we'll just say 4th of July e-card, add to emails. And then when you go back to your emails section, you're going to take that 4th of July right there, and then you're going to edit that. There's no just add email. I think that's something that they're adding, but that's kind of the workaround for it right now. A lot of people get kind of tripped up on that, but again, that's explained on the MoxiWorks support.moxieworks.com.
What Brett just covered is huge. Really, the main concept to understand this, right? To get your arms around it. Okay, so you have campaigns, you have emails, yes, two main things, as you can see, my campaigns over here on the far left, on the right side, my emails. Okay, to create a campaign, you have to have emails. Make sense? But before you want to use the emails, you want to make sure you use an email from the library, as Brett mentioned, and then modify, right? We added this one, an e-card, right? We can go click and duplicate, because let's say we want to keep the original from the brand. We want to duplicate that one, yeah? So write the dot, 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 vertical ellipses. I'm not sure what the formal name is of this. So click, duplicate, because again, I don't want to mess up the original. I can click and modify that one. Does that make sense? So edit setup, edit email content, right? And then this is where I can look at all the graphics, right? Hi, contact first name. This is where it's going to fill in information from your MoxiEngage CRM. Here's all the nice text that you could, of course, modify to your liking. Maybe it's a little bit different from what the brand or what the brokerage has given to you as the template. But as Brett mentioned, right, we utilize something that's a template that's provided, duplicate it, modify it so that we're not recreating the wheel, so to speak. Any questions, right? And then here you could see that these are some special notation where you don't have to put your name on every single one of them, because it's going to automatically fill it in with these, with this notation here, right? Your license number, your title, your brokerage name, phone number. So it's automatically merged, right? Your profile information merged with the text content of this particular screen, merged together and produce that campaign, that email when it's time to send out. Any questions? This is going to take some getting used to in terms of, right, this information, the rows, the content, the style, right, the template. You don't want to get too heavy into this, at least at this point. But just want to make sure that everybody understands this concept where you have campaigns, you have emails, but to create a campaign, you have to have the emails first. But before I add these emails, I want to make sure the emails say what I want to say. Does that make sense? Okay, and then one of the last concepts before we need to end for questions is that when you go to campaigns, right? Like the emails we add from library. Campaigns, we do the same thing. Campaigns here, add from library. This is not the emails, right? We can see emails here, but here are the campaigns that the brand, you can see the source, or the brokerage have created for us already. So here's one, holiday e-cards that, let's do this one, holiday e-cards, pets edition, add to campaigns, right? It's already created for us, that template, add to campaigns, that pets edition, yes? And then we're going to close. Okay? Did that actually take campaigns? Oh, okay, now it added. You can see this green notation, right? Oh, okay, there's a little delay. See, now it says 6 campaigns. It went from 5 campaigns to 6 campaigns. I don't know why there was kind of a little delay there. So here we go, right? Holiday greeting e-card for pets, the one that we selected from the library. Now it's in our campaigns. That's kind of the main concept. And then hopefully that clears up a lot of things like, oh, okay, I add emails into my emails from the library. And then from there, or also additionally from campaigns, I can add existing campaigns from the library into my campaigns. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions? I know we're kind of running out of time here. I just want to open up for questions because we got to kind of start another Zoom call, and probably it looks like we're going to have to cover campaigns. We'll kind of pick up where we left off at a future MoxiWorks hours. So Susan, you have your hand raised. Can you unmute
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I am really confused about this sync issue. So if we add a campaign to our campaigns, or my campaigns, if you will, and then I go and I add someone to that campaign, it unsyncs?
No.
And the whole
What-
sync concept is completely over
Okay,
my head.
Okay, so think about it, right? There's 3 Alexes in my group, right? If I add a 4th person, a 5th person, that doesn't break the sync,
Okay,
okay? Because we're just adding people to that. Okay?
all right.
When we go and change the sequence of events, the dates, add and subtract the emails within that campaign. Now, something's wrong with that. Right now, it's all confused.
What
Sync is-
emails would be in the campaign if we have, I mean, don't we add people to that campaign,
Okay,
which
so look-
adds the email?
No. When I say email, I'm talking about the content, right? So here's my campaign,
Oh,
right? There's the campaign. Oh, hold on one second. Yeah, I think you're getting confused with email addresses versus emails.
okay.
Sense? Does that make
Yes,
sense?
yes. So we cannot edit the campaign, but we can go to the email library and edit it.
I'm not saying you can't edit it. I'm just saying once you do, it's unsynchronized, it's broken. Make sense?
Well, what happens if it's unsynchronized? Can you not use it?
No, you could still use it, but I'm just saying you got to understand that concept, right? That and then Brett, maybe you can chime in on that, and then we have to kind of start another call.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
it's
basically,
okay.
if they get unsynced, all you have to do is re-add them to that campaign. And then that'll resync it.
So you could see here, right, synced right here on my screen. Hopefully is everybody seeing my?
Yeah, why don't you hit the info?
Yeah. And then also you got these tool tips, right? The eye with the circle around it. The campaign can receive updates and new emails from your brokerage office, right? Changing out emails, days or dates will break the sync. Emails meaning the actual content, not email addresses. And I
Okay,
think maybe that's perhaps where you're getting some confusion there, right? So I'm highlighting the I with the circle around it. You can edit the content of the emails if permitted, but those emails will no longer receive updates. Okay, and then last thing, folks, and I'm sorry, we got to cut it short because we got to start another call, another very important call. And then Angie, if you can kind of send that survey in chat and tune in next time. We're going to have this campaigns, MoxiEngage campaigns. We're going to have a part 2 to this because I think there's a lot more that we can certainly discuss and
okay.
take more time and maybe a review for all of you. Okay, so Angie, if you could populate, and then also if you go to the top of chat, Angie, if you don't have it, it's there too, the survey, and we appreciate any comments that you have, anything that if you got something out of it, that's great. Please share your comments. But with that, tune in next time, 2 weeks from today for our next MoxiWorks hours. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully you all got something out of it. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Angie, for all your support and help as always. Thank you all. Stay safe.